Today we're going to do life lessons and a quick highlight reel on my trip to the Stubborn American Party. You might be asking yourself, why two focuses in the same video? Well, when I get to the life lessons part, it'll make a lot more sense. Oh, and by the way, welcome back to the channel. Unless you're new here. If you're new here, I'm Wyo, and this is my world, and you're invited every single week. I come up with some craziness every week. But let's get back to the point, right? So we were discussing life lessons, and the big takeaway is never, ever, ever go on a once-in-a-lifetime journey and try new stuff that you only double-checked for a couple hours. Because I lost 85% of the content that I was trying to create on my journey to and from Kriver. Now, I did work some of the bugs out halfway on the trip home, so I was able to make one video out of that, thank God. But now I'm having to do the highlight reel. Like, I crushed it for about 9 hours, didn't eat, didn't rest enough, and I was just exhausted. Did a real horrible job filling up my tank. Splashed some gasoline in my face while I had the helmet on. And that wouldn't normally be such a big deal, except for the fact that the gasoline started eating all the plastic that was used to create my helmet mount, which is, the remaining is sitting right here. And all the fumes and smoke and stuff that was being created by the chemical reaction, I ended up sneezing. And when I sneezed, my GoPro went down. Thank God it was still in perfect condition. But the mount itself went into 4 separate pieces, one of them still glued to the helmet, so that I remember the life lesson and never forget. Don't be a BA and just be responsible. Take the breaks that you should be taking for your journey, your age, and your health. The end. So I brought 2, 3, 4 in some cases of everything, just in case something went wrong. The one thing I didn't bring, another mount. Go figure, right? So I got 0 footage all the way from the Colorado-Kansas border all the way out to Oklahoma City. And then when I got to Oklahoma City, Full Throttle Hog just happened to have a handful of these little doozies right there, and he hooked me up with one. I tried to figure out something that would work, wouldn't obstruct my vision, but would still get me a semi-decent angle. But then I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's gonna wanna dual vlog tomorrow as we crushed the last 3 or 4 hours let's go ahead and set up the audio so that it'll run through my Senna and it'll sound good and have both of our voices in it. That'll take this to the next level. And then we ended up being in such a hurry to get there that we didn't even discuss it. My voice sounded like a robot. Closer to growing up than out there in the Middle West that I'm from. This is very different. I spent a good few minutes out at Fort Sill, which is out there in Lawton on the opposite side of the state, and it looks nothing like this, I assure you. There it is, Moyers, Oklahoma. It was horrible audio. So horrible that I'm gonna have to flash some of this stuff in. Like, it was my very first time going through turnpikes on a motorcycle. And it was a relatively busy road for the middle of nowhere, not even gonna lie. I never would have expected that much traffic in the Kansas and Oklahoma border. But there was plenty. So I'm all like, alright, if I'm gonna do this as fast as possible, then I need to roll it into neutral before I even come to a stop. Get one glove off. And like, I just got this thing down to a science real quick and in a hurry in my head, how it was going to take the least possible seconds to get where I was going. And then I'm having to flip all this stuff upside down because I didn't have time to test out the right angle. So I actually had the GoPro mounted upside down, which wasn't a problem. In editing, all I have to do is flip it upside down and then flip it 90 degrees sideways, and it looks perfect. Thank you, DaVinci, for making that button so easy to find. And we just crushed it. A lot of fun. I found myself asking, man, does everybody from California ride in the left lane 24/7? Like, what's up with that shit? Like, get it over, be respectful of other drivers. And then I realized on my way home, he'd been there a few times. He knew how bad the right-handed lane was. Because on my way back home, I was sitting there doing this the whole time. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the full throttle hog thing. I'm just going to jump in the other lane. And I did. And the ride got much better, like it was when I was headed out there with him. I met some of the most amazing people. I mean, you wouldn't expect moto vloggers that are highly entertaining to be even more entertaining and better people than they are online. It's just crazy. When all the theatrics went away and they were just themselves, Jess from Her Two Wheels, the Bearded Bobber, Full Throttle Hog, Adam Sandoval. I mean, the list just kept going of the amazing people that I got to meet. I'm gonna try and reel all these pictures and stuff in while I'm doing this. And it was just great. Like, I honestly think it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Yes, I'm gonna go to Kriver for the Stubborn American Party every year. But just that awesome combination of people, meeting them all for the first time. My first time crushing that many miles with no substantial breaks except for one quick 6-hour nap. It's just firsts. I'm gonna do them again, but because it was my first time ever, it was once in a lifetime. And if I had just simply done what I know was reliable and effective, hadn't tried to switch things up and tried to one-up myself, it would have been an overall better experience with a lot more content. So those are my words of wisdom to anybody who is a brand new moto vlogger or thinking about moto vlogging. Stay within your boundaries and don't try new stuff on a once in a lifetime experience. Just don't risk it. And thanks for watching, guys. Remember, don't click all those weird buttons on your screen, because if you do that, then I'll start making some money and they'll start putting more ads in and my awesomeness will go down. Let's just be real. Later.